Thank you very much, Baptiste, and welcome here from my side at the Adam Hall booth. My name is Jens Kleinhuis. I'm the field application engineer for LD Systems. So I'm helping customers in using our products, and I'm especially there for the customers that want to use Myla. So Myla is our brand new line array system, which is active. And here our slogan, some jobs require a big line array, for everything else there is Myla, is very true. At the end of my 15 minutes presentation, you will probably believe me that this is a great system. I will be available for your questions after my presentation. So we have a hand mic. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them after the presentation. MAILA, the name stands for Modular All-Round Intelligent Line-Array. And we have built this product 6 years ago. We started in our laboratories in Neuansbach to design and engineer this product. And now since December last year, we are shipping the system. And you can see it on the backside here of the booth. You can build a modular system using 4 different modules. So the M in MAILA stands for modular. And those modules you can see here. We have a satellite that's a true line array element that we can look at later a little deeper. This is just an amp unit that's been used to drive the satellites. This is a low-mid extender that can be used for outdoor applications as well as if I want to increase the low-mid SPLs and also the reach of the system. It also has built-in amplification, and this is the subwoofer that builds the ground base of the system and has a double 15-inch active design. Moving on to the satellite, we can have a closer look at it. It's a very sleek design, and what makes it interesting is that it uses high frequency units made out of soft dome tweeters. So we're not using the usual compression driver design, which also most of the time incorporates distortion to the sound. The soft dome tweeters sound very clean in the high end, so the system is also capable of delivering high frequency content very well, like string instruments, guitars, and has a natural sound. The dispersion is 100 degrees horizontal and 8 degrees vertical. Interestingly, we used 2 6.5-inch drivers inside the small enclosure. So the reason for this is to get a low frequency range down to 100 Hertz minus 6 dB. Since we use a passive radiator in the back, we get very good low frequency content out of such a small housing. The amp unit that we can see here doesn't contain any speakers. It's just a possibility to drive up to 8 satellites and has a total amp power of 1,250 watts. And it actually contains 2 amps because the satellites are bi-amped. I have a separate amp for the low mids and a separate amp for the high mids. It has a built-in DSP, and I can use this for EQing the system, for delaying the system, and also for controlling the system via an iPad application. This is the low-mid column that contains 4 additional 6.5-inch drivers, and using this we can get a very impressive array length of up to 3 meters of Myla. So even though it's a small system, I have a very long array length, and this enables us to throw sound to a greater distance, and so it outperforms some bigger line arrays, even in the aspect of transferring sound to the back row of my auditorium. If I'm outdoors, I would always recommend to use the column for music applications. If I have just a speech application, I'm not always forced to use the column. This is how the column looks inside. They're not equipped with high frequency drivers, so it's just a low mid extension ranging from 100 Hertz to 500 Hertz. And in this frequency range, it extends our SPL capacities and also the throw of the system. The subwoofer is a dual 15-inch design, and both 15-inch speakers are firing against each other. You can see here. It's a bandpass design, so we have an opening here. It's a very powerful sub that can go down to 33 hertz minus 60 dB. It's active. It has an amp, built-in amp of 2.5 kilowatts. And it also serves as a base for building impressive ground stack. We have a ground stack built up here, and we needed a very solid foundation to build up to 6 satellites and a column on this. This shows how flexible the system is, and we can go through different scenarios quite quickly. We offer different sets of Myla, and the names S, M, L, XL, and XXL just refer to the size of the system. You can always modify this and add different elements to it. So those are just recommendations from us. Starting with a smaller system, 3 satellites on a SPA and a sub. And this shows, next slide, we just add the column, and this already is the same system that you can see down there. And actually, I will have it playing for the booth party starting at 6. This is the biggest ground stack scenario with 2 subs per side, a column, and up to 6 satellites. This is very impressive. This is the correct scale compared to a person. So already see this is a quite impressive line array ground stack. A flown system consisting of 8 satellites and a SPA unit, 6 subs in total. So this is already capable of doing larger scale music events and also speech. And this is our biggest system that we offer as a package. 2 columns, 16 satellites in total and 6 subs. This is also capable of doing impressive SPLs, even outdoors. So this shows how flexible the system can be built. Let's look at the mechanical details that we incorporate into the system. One of my favorite features is this. We call this EasySplay, and the first thing, if people are joining me back there, is I turn the handlebar. And while I'm doing this, the people always impressed, oh, what are you doing there? I can adjust the display angles of the satellite just by turning the handlebar from 0 degrees to 8 degrees. So that's very easy and very safe. So you don't hurt your fingers when you pull the pins out, and then you have to tilt the units of other line arrays. We also offer a completely tool-free flying frame. We call this Easy Mount Plus. This attaches to the amp unit, either the column or the smaller amp unit, and can be tilted vertically and also horizontally, even with a scale, so I can remember my angling. We offer a version for truss mount. This is the hook version that I can attach to the truss. And with a small modification, I can also use it for direct chain hoist mounting and have it directly on a flying point without having the need of a truss. Another cool feature that is derived from the smaller Curve 500 series that some of you might know is the Smart Link connection. So it's a total cable-free design. The contacts down here transmit the loudspeaker signals and are also used for automatic satellite detection. So the DSP knows automatically how many satellites are connected and loads the correct EQing that compensates for coupling effects. The result is a very easy to use, good sounding line array system. So what is the built-in DSP doing? We offer an app for iOS, so for Apple devices, that is in the App Store. You can download it for free. And you can also control the unit directly with a display and an encoder that's built into every device. Every function can be controlled from this, but even with a more comfortable control, I'm able to plan the display angles that you see here using the iPad app. Actually, those screens are not from the iPad app, they're directly from the unit. If you use the iPad, you can build your stage by dragging the components to this area here. And you can also plan your splay angles in advance, even though you're not at the venue. You could calculate your splay angles that are also possible on the unit. And then you can build even larger systems with an array, with near fields, with a sub-array like this, and use this unit just to plan your splay angles, and your splay angles are displayed here, and then you manually transfer them to the satellites of Myla. Further, if you are starting to work at the venue, you are in the club now or in your hall, you connect to the units, and then you can use this 10-band EQ to tune the system to the room. And this is the possibility to store the EQ as well in presets. You can copy the EQ to different units, and you also can delay the different units just by dragging it to the right. I can do up to 50 meters of delay. This is also stored in the DSP of the unit directly. So if your iPad loses connection or your battery is going low, you have every setting in your unit. Don't be afraid, the system is still working. And the crossover frequencies can be chosen for the subs. We also offer a cardioid subwoofer preset that you can use with two subs and also with 3 subs. You get about 18 dB of rejection at the back. Once you're done with all your system tweaking and tuning, you can save your whole system to a stage file. And this is very useful if you are going back to the same room. You can just set your EQ, your delay, and you know you can recall it at a later stage, and you are done in no time. So even in a fixed install situation, you could program different scenarios for your customer and say, this is EQing for speech, and this is an EQing for a music situation, and he can just load the correct stage for the correct application. So in a nutshell, that was Myla. That was a product overview. If you have detailed questions, I'm happy to answer them. And we are also offering demos, because a trade show is not the best place to judge the audio quality of a product like this. We have a showroom directly here in Barcelona, and we offer a shuttle service. If you go to the counter, to the nice ladies working there, you can say, I want to go to the showroom, and we have a shuttle that brings people to our Barcelona showroom, and you will be able to hear Myla in a very controlled environment. This is me in Germany. We also have a big showroom in Germany, which is my baby. And I'll also do demos with a bigger system there. And yeah, you are invited also to visit me in Germany, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Thanks very much for your attention.